Small home layout ideas that make every square foot feel purposeful, open, and calm. Welcome to Look Home Garden, where I love exploring simple ideas that can completely transform the way a home feels from the very first glance. Today, I want to share front yard curb appeal ideas for summer 2026 that I genuinely believe are worth trying because they focus on lasting beauty instead of passing trends. I think many homeowners assume a dramatic makeover is necessary, but I have discovered that thoughtful improvements often create the biggest impact. Have you ever wondered why some homes instantly feel welcoming before you even reach the front door?
Get inspired instantly. Explore world-class architecture in a bigger, immersive view. Free magazine space. Read and download. Get Archimags on the App Store now.
Start with a cleaner visual foundation. In my experience, the most impressive front yards are rarely the ones filled with expensive features. They usually begin with clean edges, neatly trimmed lawns, fresh mulch, and clearly defined planting beds that allow every element to stand out. Unlike most people who rush to buy new decorations, I think investing time in organizing the landscape first creates a stronger visual impression. What I find interesting is that removing unnecessary clutter often makes a yard appear larger, brighter, and surprisingly more luxurious. Choose plants that thrive in summer. I think selecting plants that naturally flourish during the hottest months is far more rewarding than constantly replacing struggling flowers. In my experience, mixing evergreen shrubs with colorful perennials creates a landscape that feels alive throughout the season without demanding endless maintenance. What I find interesting is that repeating the same plant varieties instead of collecting dozens of different species often produces a calmer and more elegant appearance. Have you noticed how professionally designed gardens usually rely on repetition rather than endless variety? Create a more inviting entry path. The pathway leading to the front door deserves far more attention than many homeowners realize. I think a slightly wider walkway bordered with soft greenery instantly encourages guests to slow down and enjoy the journey toward the entrance. Unlike overly decorative designs that compete for attention, a balanced pathway quietly guides the eye and makes the home feel naturally welcoming. In my experience, this subtle improvement often changes the entire personality of a property. Refresh the front door instead of replacing it. One of my favorite updates is giving an existing front door a completely fresh appearance with paint, updated hardware, and seasonal accessories. I think this approach delivers remarkable results without requiring a major renovation budget. What I find interesting is that a bold front door color can actually make a modest home appear more custom and carefully designed than an expensive but neglected entrance. Why spend thousands on replacement when thoughtful details can achieve so much? Layer lighting for evening charm. In my experience, curb appeal should never disappear after sunset. I think combining pathway lights, porch lighting, and subtle landscape illumination creates warmth while improving safety at the same time. Unlike overly bright floodlights that flatten every surface, layered lighting adds depth, texture, and a welcoming atmosphere that feels inviting rather than overwhelming. What I find interesting is how evening lighting often reveals the beauty of a landscape in completely new ways. Use decorative containers with purpose. Large planters placed near the entrance can frame the front door beautifully when they are chosen with intention. I think matching containers with varying plant heights creates a polished appearance without making the space feel crowded. In my experience, fewer well-designed containers almost always outperform a collection of mismatched pots scattered throughout the yard. The surprising part is that this simple strategy often makes even compact front yards feel more sophisticated. balance hardscape and greenery. I think the most memorable front yards strike a comfortable balance between built features and living plants. Too much paving can make a home feel cold, while too much vegetation sometimes creates visual chaos and increases maintenance. What I find interesting is that leaving intentional open space allows the eye to rest, making every beautiful feature feel even more noticeable. Have you ever realized that empty space can be just as valuable as decorative elements? Focus on details that reflect your personality. In my experience, the front yards I remember most are not necessarily the largest or the most expensive, but the ones that quietly reflect the people who live there. I think a carefully selected house number, a charming mailbox, comfortable seating, or seasonal accents can express personality without overwhelming the design. Unlike trend-driven decorations that quickly feel outdated, meaningful details create timeless character and genuine warmth. Those personal touches often become the features visitors remember long after they leave. A beautiful home begins with thoughtful choices. As I reflect on these summer 2026 curb appeal ideas, I keep coming back to the belief that lasting beauty comes from intentional decisions rather than expensive purchases. I think every small improvement builds upon the next until the entire front yard feels welcoming, peaceful, and full of character. Which of these ideas would you love to try first at your own home? If you enjoyed spending time with me today, please subscribe to Look Home Garden for more inspiring home and garden ideas that help make every space feel more beautiful.